Live from KSAT 12, the 6 o'clock news starts right now.
I tried to do the right thing and it, backfired.
A Floresville police officer fired after just months on the job. The department accuses Christopher Perez of violating several policies.
But he says he's the one calling out the wrongdoing of other high-ranking officers. As Daniela Ibarra explains, Perez is taking legal action, and so's the city.
This patch symbolizes sacrifice.
I gave everything for it, and I lost everything in return.
Christopher Perez wore it for just 4 months before he was stripped of his Floresville police uniform.
Sometimes the right thing feels like the wrong thing.
The right thing, Perez says, involved reporting what he considered numerous violations of department policy made by his direct supervisor, Sergeant Thomas Silvas. Perez accuses Silvas of trying to stop him from making a drug-related arrest, using racial slurs at a traffic stop, and bragging about violating an arrestee's civil rights.
That's not how you should behave as a police officer.
Perez says those complaints made their way to Lieutenant Billy Herrera and Police Chief Lorenzo Herrera.
I had supporting facts in the things I said. I have witnesses to everything. I was just not believed.
In March, Perez says Chief Herrera handed him this termination letter. It accuses Perez of violating department policy by making false reports, spreading rumors, even lying.
This piece of paper cost me a good amount of my life.
Now, Perez hopes the 15 pages that make up a federal lawsuit will give it back. It names the 3 officers and the city, claiming they violated Perez's civil rights by retaliating. One day before it was filed, Floresville City Council voted to hire an outside firm to investigate Chief Herrera. Several supporters, including Herrera's wife, Bernadette, spoke against it.
This has become an issue of harassment for my family.
The chief has done nothing but to be here for the citizens of Floresville.
Perez says he's glad Herrera is being held accountable.
His conduct wasn't right. He's held to a higher standard.
Perez is now wearing a different patch, working for Floresville ISD.
I love the kids. It's a type of law enforcement that is really, it's rewarding, seeing the kids.
And he says it's rewarding knowing he's standing up for what he believes is right.
I'm doing this not just for the community, not for myself, but I'm also doing this for my daughter. I love her to death.
Daniela Ibarra, KSAT 12 News.
Floresville City Manager Andy Jocelyn says the, quote, city and its attorneys are in the preliminary evaluation of this case, end quote. We did reach out to Chief Herrera, Lieutenant Herrera, and Sergeant Silvas. Still waiting to hear back.
ERCOT is asking you to reduce your energy use from now through 9 p.m. But that warning came with some confusion here in San Antonio after CPS Energy initially issued a green or normal conservation day today. ERCOT says Texans need to conserve energy today because several fossil fuel plants are down and there's not enough wind energy being produced. It wasn't until after ERCOT issued a release about that energy shortage that CPS Energy changed its status to a yellow day. Temperatures only slightly above average this afternoon. We reached out to CPS Energy for comment on this, but we have not heard back.
And despite, many calls for action from ERCOT, we have yet to get an orange day from CPS either, which is something we're curious about. Anyway, I think they need a certain...
There's a lot of systems,
a lot of criteria.
Some criteria to be met. Anyway, here's the latest supply and demand from ERCOT. And notice this is updated just, a minute ago. Notice at 9:05 p.m., the expected demand is likely to exceed the available capacity for energy in megawatts there. And this is just their forecast and their estimate of what's expected in the hours ahead. So this is what we're watching. Now, we've been in this situation several times already, and we really haven't seen any widespread issues, at least not as of yet. Bottom line, good reminder to conserve where you can, especially for the next several hours through 9-10 o'clock. Notice our wind across the state because we have a lot of wind turbines, especially in West Texas. And our West Texas wind hasn't been as robust as usual. Right now, it's good in Lubbock at 23 miles per hour. There's a little bit of shower activity there, though. That's enhancing it. And along the Gulf Coast, we're not seeing quite as much wind as usual to offset those issues with the coal and or natural gas plants that are down. Temperatures, not as bad as what we've seen, actually most of us, in the 90s. We'll be back to talk about the forecast for tomorrow and beyond with ERCOT, as well as a shot at rain for some in just a bit, Steve.
Thank you, Adam. How far does your homeowner association's power extend? One Northside HOA told its members that it would begin towing cars parked on a public street.
Garrett Berger looked into whether that is something they can actually do.
The roads in and out of the Westfield neighborhood off of Prue Road are open and ungated. But its homeowners association recently tried to tell residents they're not open to parking.
Parking in the street is prohibited, and all vehicles parked in the street are subject to and will be towed away.
Kevin Sloan says he and his neighbors got these letters a few weeks ago, warning enforcement would start September 1st.
It was very surprising to see that they want to tow from a public street. Surprised me, surprised my neighbors, surprised my other neighbor. I mean, it surprised a bunch of us.
That's my niece's car.
Monica Garcia says it's not feasible given the amount of cars they have among their various family members.
Our kids have cars, we have cars. It's kind of hard to keep 2 or even 4 cars in here without blocking, the sidewalk and stuff.
Neither homeowner knew of anyone who thought it was a good idea.
Everyone's pissed. Everyone's angry.
The goal was not to try to do something to piss everybody off.
Instead, the HOA's president-elect says it was about safety.
Because when it comes to an emergency situation, time is life.
The city attorney's office told us in an emailed statement that it was unfamiliar with the HOA's rules, but also that the streets are public right-of-ways and parking is permitted. FAF says the HOA is backing off the idea, both because of issues with the streets being public and also that towing actually would not be enforceable under the HOA's rules. But they plan to present residents with options for moving forward, including whether to try to privatize their streets, because he says the parking on the street is a concern for some.
We are only going to enforce what the residents want, and that's the best we can do.
Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
Tonight, San Antonio police are looking for the person who shot a man in the leg. The shooting happened around 9:40 last night in the 1800 block of West Laurel Street. That's near North Zarzamora and Culebra. The victim told officers he was being followed by a dark-colored vehicle while walking home. That's when someone in that vehicle shot the man in the leg. He is expected to be okay, and no arrests have been made.
And tonight, fire investigators looking into the cause of a blaze that destroyed a home in Leon Valley. That fire broke out sometime about 10:30 last night at a home near Crystal Bow and Blackberry Drive. That's not far from Loop 410. Firefighters say they arrived to flames showing from the home. Some nearby trees also caught on fire. Firefighters were able to quickly put those flames out, and no injuries were reported.
The prosecution today wasting no time showing a jury key evidence in the 2021 murder of an aspiring San Antonio rapper who was Beyonce's cousin. Martel DeRuin was shot through his apartment door. The woman accused, Sasha Scar, is now on trial. During the first day of this trial, video from a neighbor's Ring doorbell camera captured the moments that Scar was walking down a hallway with a gun in her hand. That neighbor told the jury he then heard a gunshot.
And I thought, oh, that's just a firework. And I just continued.
Another neighbor testified that she saw Scar banging on DeRuin's door, but did not hear a gunshot. As of right now, the state has not released much information on the possible motive in this case. Scar faces up to life in prison if found guilty. We are live streaming this trial. You can watch it tomorrow when that trial resumes on KSAT.com, KSAT Plus, or on the KSAT YouTube page.
Texas lawmakers and Governor Greg Abbott passed more than 1,100 bills in the 88th legislature this year. Several of those laws have been in effect for weeks. But this Friday, hundreds more will be official. 774 more laws, to be exact, surrounding important subjects like school safety, voting rights, and crime will go on the books starting this Friday, September 1st. All right, we know what you're thinking. 774 brand new laws is a lot to look out for, but KSAT has you covered. We actually broke down several notable laws that start on Friday. To watch and find out more, or if you want to read that list, you can scan this QR code on your screen right now.
A message to parents from pediatricians across the country. Talk to your doctor about the pneumococcal vaccine, especially if your child is under 2 years old.
Yeah, a local hospitalist tells KSAT's Courtney Friedman what serious illnesses can be avoided just by getting that vaccine.
Pneumococcus is a bacteria that some people carry even without symptoms, and it can be spread by coughing or sneezing. It's dangerous for children under 2 because of their undeveloped immune systems. While it can cause minor issues like ear infections, it can also turn into something serious.
So they can develop severe pneumonias, meningitis, bone and joint infections, as well as blood infections with pneumococcus.
Dr. Mandy Tibbles-Vatek is a pediatric hospitalist with University Hospital and UT Health San Antonio and says that's why prevention is key in the form of a vaccine.
It is, part of the routine vaccine schedule that they get up to 4 doses prior to the age of 15 months.
During the height of the pandemic, a lot of kids didn't make it to their normal doctor's appointments, so they ended up places like this, University Hospital, dealing with severe symptoms. The Texas Medical Association reports there are nearly 2,000 invasive pneumococcal disease cases in Texas every year.
In the hospital, we see it enough with pneumonias, overcoming ear infections that go beyond, and then sometimes we'll see in small infants that it gets into their bloodstream. So talk to your pediatrician if you see long-lasting infections or fever, especially if your child is in school, daycare, or other crowded spaces. Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
Let's take a look at traffic out there right now. Highway 90 at Meadow Creek. You can see very slow going, the traffic coming towards the camera. Things smooth sailing the other way. No big issues that we're aware of in terms of an accident or construction, but a slow ride home for a lot of folks headed this way.
What's this place mean to you?
This is my place. This is where I can really get in touch with myself and get in touch with writing a song.
Coming up in just a few minutes, we go one-on-one with the Americana music legend himself, Robert Earl Keen. Hear his stories from his past and his inspirations for making music, including his new album. It's coming up in our latest Spreester Session sneak peek tonight at 6:30.
Also still ahead here on the news at 6, pickleball, one of the fastest growing sports in the U.S., but it has also been causing the most injuries. Up next, the advice doctors have so you can prevent yourself from getting hurt on the court.
A Hondo family shocked tonight after a teen stabbed his parents, then took his own life. What the Hondo police chief and a mental health expert are telling KSAT about this unthinkable incident. Tonight on the Night Beat at 10.
Once temperatures finally drop, the outdoor ball for the growing number of pickleball players.
We'll pick up for pickleball. The sport has grown so much recently that the hardest part of the game now is finding an empty court. Ursula Perry with who's playing the game and how it's also causing the fastest growing sports injuries.
Seriously? Pickleball is social, doesn't take as much space as tennis, and easier to play for all ages. Lots of laughter, but competitive spirit leads to getting hurt.
I've had 2 injuries playing pickleball. The last one that I had, which was my patella tendon tear in my left knee, was playing in a tournament.
Anyone can play pickleball, but 90% of the injuries occur in those over the age of 50.
One of the common misconceptions about pickleball is that it's less injury provoking than other sports. And most of the injuries that we see occur in the lower extremity, so in the knees and the ankles. They're usually from a sudden lunging, jumping, twisting type of maneuver.
Bob Patella's injury to his knee was intense.
He did sort of a sudden lunge, and what happened was his quadriceps, his thigh muscles, contracted suddenly and actually ripped the tendon from off of the bone just below the kneecap.
The first 4 to 6 weeks, you're pretty immobile. Then you start to gain confidence and the brace starts to come off because you sleep with a brace for the first 5 weeks.
So how can you keep pickleball fun but save yourself from strains, sprains, and dislocations? Dr. Roos says warm up and know your limitations. Stretch before and after you play.
The older you are, the harder it is to get past these injuries. For Bob, it's going to take 2 to 3 years to get back to competitive playing. And those with lower bone density tend to have more injuries. So you might want to play a little bit slower than you think you need to. Ursula Perry, KSAT 12 News.
Okay, we said when temperatures finally drop, When is that going to be?
Yeah.
We're going to wait a while on that one.
I am curious, though, if there's any sign of this weather breaking where we could at least get maybe low 90s?
No, not even low 90s yet. No. Even in the really long-range stuff, we don't see a big trough dropping in within the foreseeable future. Sorry, Steve.
Tried.
Wah, wah. I'm looking out for it, though, and I'll let you know when there's even a sliver of hope for that. Actually, here's one positive aspect is some rain is back in the forecast for tomorrow. We're talking just a 20% chance, but at least it's something. I mean, obviously nothing to get too excited about, but we'll have a little more cloud cover tomorrow and that shot at rain. But you'll notice that's it for the rest of the week, that 20% chance tomorrow and nothing else the rest of the week other than a 10% chance by this time next week. Take a look at those rain chances and you'll see not a whole lot, just that 20% chance tomorrow. And most of that's between 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. Here's our futurecast, and don't pay close attention to where it develops the showers. Just the mere fact that it's on board with enough instability and enough lift to kickstart a few of these or widely separated showers and non-severe thunderstorms. 4 p.m. Isolated coverage, about 20 to 30% of our area. And overall, we're not going to see a whole lot in terms of accumulation from these. Pretty quick splash and dash activity as it moves through. Then once we get to the evening, we lose our daytime heating. And at that point, we lose our thunderstorms and then we clear on out for the rest of the night. But that's really our only hope here in the short term. North Texas, parts of the Panhandle getting some shower activity today. That's good for them. That's actually the part of Texas where we don't need the rain as much. Upper level high, it's over Arizona. We've got that north wind as a result. And that north wind helped push that weak cold front through yesterday and also gives us a few little disturbances in our atmosphere to help kickstart a few showers tomorrow afternoon. Hurricane Idalia, Category 2 hurricane right now. This is headed toward the Big Bend of Florida. Already some outer rain bands moving on shore. The waters of the Gulf of Mexico are like jet fuel for these thunderstorms. Unusually warm water. So as this continues to move northward, and you see, by the way, the flight tracker of the hurricane hunters in there, as this moves northward, it's likely to quickly intensify. And it wouldn't surprise me if it becomes a Category 4 hurricane shortly before landfall. The latest forecast from the Hurricane Center is a Cat 3. Notice at 1 a.m. still offshore, and then a Cat 3 as it makes landfall. But if experience tells us anything, I think it could be a Category 4 just briefly prior to making landfall there in western Florida. Looking at the potential storm surge, this is a computer model, but remember the storm surge is the height of the water above the ground. And the potential storm surge, zoom in here for you, just west of Gainesville, right along the coast. This just a storm surge affects the coast, 12 to 15 feet, 9 to 12 feet in some of those communities that are right along the Gulf Coast there. Highs today across the state. Look at Amarillo, only 83 for a high temperature. Lubbock 93, Midland 94, 100 in Austin, Del Rio 103. Not as bad as what we felt recently. By the way, Pleasanton 85, that's an error. That site quit reporting several hours ago. Hondo, the high temperature today of 99. Here in San Antonio, 100 even. That marks our 62nd 100-degree day so far this year. Tomorrow, we'll make it back up to 100 here in town. Eagle Pass 99, Kerrville 96. 97 Leon Springs, Elmendorf, and La Jolla topping out at 102. Then it's sunny, low 100s all the way through Friday. This weekend, sunny right around 100. Same goes for Labor Day. Unfortunately, that cold front we're looking for, it's not in sight yet.
There's a 99. We got that.
Okay, there you go.
Thanks, Adam.
All right, cuts in the NFL, and there's a new Cowboys quarterback in town. Mary Rominger is in for Larry Ramirez today. Mary, big day for a now Cowboy and for those who find out if they made the team.
Yes, big day, emotional, but there's also a lot of positivity surrounding the new future of what will be the Dallas Cowboys. Newly acquired QB Trey Lance is officially in Dallas, by the way, but today the spotlight is on those NFL roster cuts. Plus, UTSA's Frank Harris gets real ahead of Saturday's season opener after the break.
Football coverage brought to you by Davis Law Firm.
I've done this for a long time. I've been in draft and development since 2006, and the goal was always to keep 69 to 70 of these guys. Obviously the third quarterback, now plays into that. So, and it's a chess match, and these are conversations that you don't look forward to having, because when you look a young man in the eye and he's done everything you asked him to do, and he definitely has earned the opportunity to be on the 53, and you don't have the right enough spots based off how you think this whole thing's going to evolve.
By today's 3 p.m. deadline, NFL teams had to finalize their initial 53-man rosters. Pretty accurate, head coach Mike McCarthy calling it a chess match. Now, as we know, the Dallas Cowboys' Ezekiel Elliott era is over, and here's what the running back room sounds like after today's cuts. Tony Pollard, Rico Dowdle, Deuce Vaughn, and Hunter Lipke. Most of that group earning a spot with standout performances in the preseason. Amid the cut downs, the Dallas Cowboys swapped cornerbacks with Miami. Dallas is sending Kelvin Joseph to the Dolphins for a 2020 first-round pick. Noah Igbonogany. The Cowboys also cut 2 former draft picks in defensive tackle Quentin Bohanna and linebacker Jabril Cox. The Houston Texans handling business under first-year head coach DeMeco Ryans. The Texans did cut former Pro Bowl cornerback Desmond King in the process of finalizing their 53-man roster. Houston also making a move amid cuts to help the O-line with the acquisition of former 2021 third-round pick Kendrick Green in exchange for a 2025 sixth-round pick to the Steelers. San Antonio native Kellen Mond was unfortunately on the Cleveland Browns list of cuts. Mond was waived last week, but the Browns brought him back after trading Joshua Dobbs to the Cardinals. Mond was beat out by Dorian Thompson-Robinson for the backup role behind Deshaun Watson. This Saturday, the UTSA football team travels to Houston for the start of what will be a very special season. It can't be understated what the return of quarterback Frank Harris means to the Roadrunners' 2023 potential. After practice today, Harris acknowledged where he was physically and mentally at last spring, saying it was the hardest time of his life. He couldn't walk or sleep.
I mean, honestly, I was done probably like March and April. I was ready to give it up, honestly. I told Coach, told a couple of the players that I'm medically retiring, I'm done. Just want to move on with my life. It was just too hard for me at that point. And just to see where I am now, just a testament to God. And he does everything for a reason, and I'm just blessed to be here.
Harris will hit the field for his final campaign with the Roadrunners beginning this Saturday at Houston, and will be there.
And he's been a ton to that team, so hope he does well in his final season.
Me too. Thank you, Mary.
Thanks, Mary. Coming up after the break, we're getting an exclusive tour of Americana music icon Robert Earl Keen's ranch outside of Bandera. See the place where he writes his songs and hear stories about his start in the music industry. It's next in our latest Spreester Sessions sneak peek.
Robert Earl Keen has a new album, and he will play at Floor's Country Store on Labor Day. And he also sat down exclusively with this guy.
What a humble, cool guy he is. I'm a fan, so this is a thrill for me. Robert Earl Keen has a new album out called Western Chill. So in addition to the Spreester Sessions interview that we'll live stream tonight at 7, he also gave us a tour of his ranch near Bandera, a place where he definitely goes to chill out.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. I had an office in Bandera, and my wife comes in one day and she says, I'm gonna go look at this ranch. And I said, all right. She says, you wanna go? I said, no. I said, we don't have any money. I don't know what you're going to look at a ranch for. These people were from California, and it turned out that the wife really hated living out here, and she wanted to go back to California. I made him an offer, and I didn't have any money. And I was thinking, what am I doing? I'm an idiot. I'm making an offer. I can't even back it up. And like about, I don't know, 15 days later, I got this check from this song Copenhagen that Jeff Foxworthy made a record of funny songs where he's singing. Nobody I know have ever seen or heard this record. It turns out this record was only sold in truck stops, right? And he sold like 4 million of them. And I got a check for $50,000. So all of a sudden I could back up what I offered this guy, you know? Yeah, this is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Howdy, I'm Robert O'Keen, and welcome to Western Chill.
You got a smoke pit up here, huh?
Yeah. So that's Medina River over that way, and then Bandera's right on the other side of that hill there. And we've shot a lot of stuff here. You see, I have this little cabin. It's only built for one. Perfectly situated on the western side of a hill.
How many of your songs are autobiographical?
I'd say a lot of them are. Yeah, I'd say 75% probably autobiographical. I come from a very personal point of view. I mean, not necessarily in the song, but like when I'm putting together the song, I have like a real personal thought or a feeling about something or someone, and so I go with that. I don't. It's hard to say. It's sometimes it's hard to get a real emotional feel if you're not coming from a personal place. And so this is where I wrote probably 80% of my songs.
What do you call this place?
The Scriptorium. Yeah, my wife named it that. Where like Scriptorium as in writing place.
What's this place mean to you?
This is my place. This is where I can really get in touch with myself and get in touch with writing a song. And I usually what I do is I don't bring my phone. There's no television here, and I just have a bunch of deer sausage and white bread, and I go out there and cook them out there.
Is there a song when you were playing shows that you had to play?
Well, yeah, The Road. If I didn't play The Road, I got a lot of flack, and I did that a few times. People really actually literally bang on the bus and scream and tell me I was like ruin their day and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, come on, man. I just didn't play it one time. It's what I've been needing, Western Chill, in the cool part of the evening.
Snake barn. I thought they meant an actual barn that had snakes in it.
It did, used to, but it doesn't anymore. This is it. That's like a little vignette we set up for something I forgot that we did, like a couple of guys playing guitar or something. And then that's where we do like a full-blown band. We add a couple of risers, and then got the lights here. And
so that's where you did the concert for Western Chill.
Yeah. So we keep that kind of for the smaller stuff, and then this for like band stuff. That's a picture of Danny Hickel, who's the outlaw in Gringo Honeymoon, and that's the hovel that he lived in.
How many of your albums have you done in here?
Oh, just that Western Chill, but we've done a lot more video kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean we won't do another one.
What are these old set lists?
Yeah, these are set lists. We just did different things where we were just shooting songs, Western Chill, this is like Silver Spurs and Gold Tequila. It's like all Western stuff. And yeah, Birdie. That's Birdie. She's totally feral cat. Totally feral cat. So that's pretty much the nickel tour, Steve.
I appreciate it.
The rest of it's just, land and roads, basically.
Awesome.
Cool.
I still can't believe I did that. I'm glad it's on video. By the way, Western Chill is in a box. It's more than just an album. He's got a songbook. He's got a graphic novel. Wow. I mean, a lot of stuff come with this album that he sings and writes some songs. Members of his longtime band sing and wrote some of the songs on there, so it's pretty cool.
So the graphic novel, are these his illustrations?
It's his idea. He didn't illustrate them. He used a guy in, I think it was Lubbock or Amarillo, who did some of the illustrations to bring it to life, but it goes along with the album.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the story of the album.
So many times, just when I hear him talk, it brings back so many memories of his live concerts, the live albums, and he's got a really cool show coming up at Floors.
He does. By the way, it's a fan appreciation at Floors Country Store. It's free, but you have to get into the lottery. I think you can go to Floors or robertearlkeen.com and get in the lottery for the free show. It's him and his friends, kind of like his last show at Floors they did about a year ago. He's going to do it again. Fan appreciation, say thank you to the fans out there because he says we're nothing without the fans. By the way, he says he doesn't get recognized unless he starts talking.
I could see
said.
that.
Yeah.
Exactly. You recognize his voice. Okay. I know sometimes artists don't like this question, but did he talk about a favorite song or favorite album that he's cut?
Okay, so I'm not gonna give away what he said, but the favorite song he did tell me, it's a song I had not heard of. I had to look it up. So it goes way back in his catalog. And his favorite album, he said he hadn't listened to because it was so hard for him to make. He hadn't listened to until recently, and now he thinks it's his favorite.
Wow.
So both of those are in the Spreester Sessions. It's going to drop live tonight at 7 o'clock. And then, of course, you can see it on all of our streaming platforms. By the way, I also want to mention one other thing.
What?
He has a great cat. And this cat actually bonded with members of our crew. This is Handsome with producer Bill Taylor and I. And Handsome, during the interview, this research session, he jumps in on Robert Earl Keen's lap, then he jumps on my lap. So Handsome also part of the interview. But
hence Bill Taylor's face there.
Yeah. I want to thank Robert Earl Keen, though, for spending time with us. And you can catch the Spreester Sessions, like I said, starting at 7 o'clock tonight.
And I just love that Copenhagen helped him buy that ranch.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.